Boom, 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 boom. This is Life with Lord Zedd and Beyond. This will be just about my general career history, starting from kindergarten. That's how I started out. In the kindergarten, the teacher brought in an old hollowed-out television set. And she had each one of us get inside the television set and entertain the rest of the class. So I got in there and I did sort of a puppet show with my hands. Hi, how are you? I'm okay, how are you? And it was a big hit. I drew a little face. I actually stole it from a comedian who did it on television, but nobody knew the comedian. Senor Wences. He was on the Ed Sullivan Show a lot. Ed Sullivan Show, a long time ago, was a variety show that we used to watch on Sunday nights. This was on the East Coast. I was a big hit, and I kind of got hooked into acting that way. And pretty soon I was doing school plays since I was in the second grade and summer theater. There was a group in my neighborhood that did a play every summer. So we did Annie Get Your Gun. I played Buffalo Bill. This little guy, I was about 5'2", and this long beard. And my high-pitched voice going, hit, miss, hi, I'm Buffalo Bill. But it was community theater and it worked. I had charisma. So then I did a few commercials when I was a kid. And I wasn't really serious about it. I mean, I was serious when I was doing it, but I was also an athlete, if you can believe it or not. I played baseball and football and golf, hockey, bowling, any kind of athletic thing I was good at. So that sort of took precedence in my life. Plus school, I was pretty good in school. But school, I did the school plays. And it wasn't until high school that school had any real good classes to offer in acting. And there was this one teacher at Bayside High School, where I went in New York City, that he was an actor. He did Broadway and off-Broadway, and he was pretty dedicated. And it was an English class, but he taught a lot of acting for the people who were interested. And at one time we did a newscast. We had to write a 4-minute news program, complete with news items, and there had to be a spot for a commercial, 30 seconds for a commercial. So it was 3.5 minutes of show and 30 seconds for a commercial. And it had to time out perfectly. The lengths of the stories had to time out. Well, if you wanted to take your commercial break 2 minutes into the show, you had to time out 2 minutes exactly of reading the news, and then to segue into the commercial, and then back after 30 seconds, you got 1.5 minutes of news. It had to time perfectly. You had to have 5 or 6 news items at least. So in that 4-minute spot. So I did it at home, and I worked very carefully on it. I timed it out with my wristwatch, and I went in and did it in front of the class, and I did great. So once again, I had never done a newscast before, so I got pretty hooked into being a newscaster at that point, besides doing acting. So I thought, wow, this is something I could really pursue. And eventually in college I get into reading the news on the radio, the college radio station, which was my introduction into voiceover. I also did a radio show in college, a weekly music show where I programmed my own music. I programmed what we now know as classic rock. And there was current rock. back in the Stone Age when I went to college. And but it was all good training for what was to come. I graduated high school a half year early. I did the 2 high school plays. We did, what did we do? Our Wilderness by Eugene O'Neill in my junior year. And we did, what the heck was the name of it? Out of the Fire? It was a comedy, Out of the Fire, I think it was called, about four young people who were in New York trying to make it as actors. And it was a cute comedy, so I played in that. And then I got into college and I majored in theater and mass communications. So I did everything in college from taking avant-garde theater, which was very new type of theater, to more newscasting and radio work. So I got a real well-rounded education in college, where there was a good balance of learning and actual performing. I did several plays in college. What did I do? I did a Sartre play, a very heady play called No Exit. I played a king, a crazy screwed up king. Anyway, that was in college. And we did a musical. I wasn't too good at musicals. I mean, I was okay. We did a summer theater. We did a play called Molière Imaginary, which was a musical version of The Would-Be Invalid by Molière. And it was a big hit. And I played the hero. I played the love interest, the hero, Créante. And I had 2 musical numbers. And I did pretty well. I was never trained in music, but I did pretty well. I practiced the singing, and I did the singing bit. And then there was some dancing that I did not do. I didn't have to do. Oh, wait a minute! Later on in my career, I would have to do just that. But that's for a little later. Then in college, I got the idea to switch over to night school and look for a job during the day in Manhattan, see if I could get work, quote, in the industry, unquote. In those days, you could just get dressed up kind of nice and walk around and knock on doors. Just knock on doors saying, "Hi, here I am. I'm talented, and do you need anybody?" And I ran into a whole bunch of good stuff. I ran into one guy who wanted to apprentice me as he did industrial films. Anybody know what an industrial film is? Well, industrial film, nobody's ever heard of, because it's a film that, let's say AT&T will make a film training its employees on how to work a new computer system. And they'll make a film, an entertaining film about it. That's an industrial film. It doesn't play in the movie theaters, it doesn't play on TV, it's just in-house. But you can make very good money doing industrial films. But I, of course, said, this is not going to make me a star, so I turned it down. He wanted to give me a job and teach me everything. I could have taken that and been a producer today. But I didn't have any parental guidance, so I had just my own 19-year-old, very much addled brain to figure these things out. So I finally ended up getting a job for the American Broadcasting Company, ABC, TV and radio, in the accounts payable department.